In September last year, there was a match at the MCG that held some significance. It was the first preliminary final of the 1994 season. For North Melbourne and Geelong, the glittering prize was a grand final berth. It was a gripping match that engrossed 80,000 fans, a contest involving 36 individuals. A match that would ultimately involve only two men, the league's most flamboyant forward and one of the most underrated backmen, with scores level and seconds to go.
Right on the boundary line, Tudor. He will kick after the siren. Oh my goodness me. There is no justice in football. That was the look on the face of Michael Martin. Geelong are in the grand final.
Tonight, they meet again from the MCG, North Melbourne and Geelong, on Friday night's football.
How are you, Robbo?
Yeah, good, Bruce. And the captain's about to toss the coin.
Yes, Wayne Carey and Gary Ablett. There's a little bit of talent there, Jared.
Oh, is there a bit of gawking ability?
Oh, and turn a match ability and change the face of footy ability. There's Dennis Pagan. They have won 3 straight. North, it's the big streak at the moment. We had 7 for Richmond and Carlton, and they've climbed from 12th to 6th in 3 weeks. Geelong are 4th. They're going pretty well. Robbo, what's your tip?
Well, I've got no logic behind it, Bruce, which is probably not a bad move when it comes to football tipping these days, but I just fancy North. I think the motivation from the loss in the final last year might see them through.
So McGrath for Carey, no surprise there. Longmire Ablett, bit of a shock, Jared?
Well, John Longmire has played on Dunstall at times, but you would have to say tonight that is a shock. Perhaps Glenn Arch would be a second choice. Keenan Reynolds, other options.
So Carey is actually at full forward for North Melbourne. No Mickey Martin for the Kangaroos. No Ben Graham for the Cats. Should be a wonderful match. North to go to the left of screen. Conditions surprisingly good. There's Couch. He's in Brownlow medal form. Stevens.
You would think that Stevens would pick up Paul Couch.
Big roar. Barnes and Ushenko to go. Barnes never got a look in. Pickering through his fingers. Blakey out of the centre. A high ball. 2 half forward. Carey in the action immediately. Schwass, who can kick it long. That one's up and under, but gets about 30 metres. Roberts outnumbered. Has a chance. Barnes gets back off the ground. Was it Watt or Roberts? It's a goal, I think. Oh. Or Scott. Well, Robert Scott, his first game for North Melbourne against the Cats. He had a very successful career at Geelong. And we'll get a chance here, Jared, to sort out who kicked it off the ground.
Yes, well, Robert Scott just didn't appear that jubilant after he did kick this, but
I think it might have been Roberts. I'm going to give it to the big fridge. It's a goal, North Melbourne, Geelong no score. We'll give that to Roberts, the opening goal.
Well, a struggle for clearance from the centre, and neither side having much impact. Kick forward by Stevens towards half forward. Back goes Mansfield. Mansfield off his right foot, kicks well, out towards the half-back area. Chance here for Couch. Couch, as Bruce has already mentioned, in magnificent form in season 95. Taken by Riccardi. Short kick by that player into the centre. The mark was taken by Gary Hocking. He plays on quickly off the left foot. The ball sits up a little bit. Allison gets back grandly and defends well. The kick off the ground to the advantage now of North Melbourne because Scott leads in the race with the ball. His little flip on was fairly well ineffective. Then a kick off the ground, advantage for Carey. McKernan leaves it behind. Tapping it in the air was Hall. Chance now for Brown, but he's beaten for it by Ishchenko. Going after it now is Armstrong. He can't collect the ball. Schwass, but a strong play by Hall. He gathers the ball, goes back towards the centre half-back area. Pickering, now Hocking. Some really strong defensive work by North Melbourne. That kick was rather ordinary. Out to the advantage of Minch. Mitch tries to get around. He's a gangling type, but he gets his right foot to the ball. And fortunately for Geelong, in front is Tudor. And he's marked between the wing and right half forward, favouring the Cats.
Goes to the pocket. Brownless the target. Rather Barnes, he's got him. At about 55 metres. Hickmott very short if he wants him. Barnes centres. Ablett couldn't quite get there. Brewer was in the front spot. Longmire. Still with Longmire. So we've got a Coleman medalist being stood by former Coleman medalist tonight. Barnes has got a lot of time to sit and wait and kick it accurately to Riccardi. And who plays on? Straight into Pickering. Back to Riccardi. On the left. 20 metres out. Hickmott in front. Riccardi. Left foot. Hooks it. Misses. It's a behind. The 22-year-old. There's the bench for the Kangas with Capuano there and Nichols. Laidley to bring it back in. North are a goal, Geelong are a point. Laidley out wide. Archer the target. Brownless came in strongly. Allison away. It's his birthday today. Carey's tomorrow. Allison kicks it to Carey. Carey, centre half forward, missed by Barnes. Over the top, Brown. Little left footer. Couchy's got it. And Couchy's had the footy a lot this year at centre wing.
Couch off the left foot. Player on his own. On the other side of the ground was Hickmott. Towards half forward for Geelong. Kick off the ground by Ross Smith. Doesn't get to the boundary line, so the race on. Now the ball is forced over for a throw-in. Ross Smith followed that all the way across there to help King out. Getting a little pat on the head from Hickmott was Tudor. And the boundary umpire will throw it in. Nearly up to right half forward for Geelong. They've kicked it behind. North Melbourne have kicked a goal. Ischenko gets it down. Still a struggle, but it's Hinkley's hand pass. Out into the open. Tudor, tackled by Stevens. Ball forced over for a throw-in. Tudor, well, I don't think there'll be too many people that'll be watching this game who will forget about Lee Tudor's little kick. It was marked by Ablett, resulting in the goal to put Geelong into the grand final last year. Ischenko down towards Stevens. Rock in front of himself, and the player's quite content there to see it over for another boundary throw in. The third in this similar area on the ground. Right half forward for Geelong, the North Melbourne coach's box. Pretty early in the game, but they'll be sussing out the positional changes that they can make. Maybe they won't be forced to make any. The ball into the forward pocket for Geelong. Hickmott bumped off the ball. Kicked forward by Ablett. Look at the ball just spinning close to the goal line. Ablett tackled, and down he goes from the Archer. Confrontation, and the ball is out of bounds in the left forward pocket for Geelong. Is it out of bounds, or the actual field umpire may take control here and bounce it close to the line? Still Geelong a chance to score. Their left forward pocket knocked away by Smith. Nearly kicked forward by Hocking. Couch found some space, kicked brilliantly smothered. Pickering strength. Armstrong hard at the ball, close to the line, taken over by Scott. It's been forced nearly out to the 50-metre area, 50-metre line for Geelong. Actually, it's outside that area. It's about 60 metres from the Geelong goal. Left half forward flank.
National Sportsbook odds can hardly separate them. North Melbourne, the narrowest of favourites. It's one of those you pick 'em. Scholl lost a bit of ground, but centred the ball. Important one now. Back in Geelong's favour, but attacking it in fairly. A chance. Rock. It sits now at centre wing. Schwass provides the lead, playing up forward. Coming in McKernan from the side against Hall, and that's a good mark.
It has to be a problem for them, Jared. The talls and the North Melbourne, they can afford at this stage to have one of their young talls, Capuano, on the bench.
Yes, they always go in with a fairly tall side. Sometimes it's their Achilles heel, but on this occasion, up against Derek Hall, it was certainly a strength.
He's a thumping kick, McKernan. Doesn't time this, but it's coming back. It's a goal. First goal to McKernan tonight. And the second for North, their other goal scorer, Mark Roberts, 12-1.
It's a very good mark, this one. He just floats across the front of the pack. It was good work there by Ian Fairley, just charging straight at the ball in a straight line. Rock just fumbles a little bit with the slippery ball. And here's the mark floating across by Corey McKernahan. Bob Davis calls it.
Well, Schenko already having an influence at those centre bounces. Gary Hocking can't get it clear. Liam Pickering well tackled by Schwass. And Liam Pickering, one of the 4 ex-North Melbourne players in the Geelong lineup this evening. And of course Robert Scott, the ex-Geelong player, playing for North Melbourne. The ball spins out of the centre and favours Roberts. Roberts is kicked in towards full forward. McGrath takes it over. Wayne Carey and Tim McGrath opposed to each other in this match. Well, they've had some interesting tussles since Tim McGrath crossed from the North Melbourne area to Geelong. The player we saw on the bench there was Trent Nichols for North Melbourne. McKernan up against Hall, taken to the ground. Ball spills, but not clear of any congestion. Yes, Anthony Stevens managed to flick it out, but not before the umpire had blown his whistle and he will bounce. It's about 40 metres from the North Melbourne goal. Stevens for North Melbourne. He's been a prolific possession gatherer. The ball comes clear for Hinkley. Forced to kick quickly, but it's all right. Simpson's on the end of it, and Simpson will kick Geelong into their forward half.
Brown was the target. Ablett, long way from goal, left foot. Brewer versus Laidley. Brewer playing in the pocket. Tries to get away. Laidley's tackle okay. Still Brewer. Got it out to Tudor. Left foot, bouncing ball. Across the face. Fairley did very well. Left-hand handle a beauty. Blakey away. North going all right early doors. A miss there by Reynolds. Probably should have left it for Rock. Kicked by Scholl, back to full forward. A bit misdirected. Archer hurriedly got the handball out to Fairley. Laidley with a little bit of poise to Smith. Smith with a lot of poise. Accurately to Armstrong. Armstrong in the back pocket, away. Kicks at the centre wing. McKernan the target. Gets rid of Hall too easily. Takes the mark. It's already kicked the goal. Inside to Schwass. Now up the ground. Schwass to Carey. He's gone. No, didn't quite have it. Rock goes for it and misses. It's a behind. Thought Carey had it. Didn't quite stick. Won't wear those gloves, he said, Gerald. Didn't like them. 2-1 to a point.
Good on him. Perhaps Anthony Rock was just signalling there to Robert Scott that the handball was probably on, but he didn't give it and only got it behind. But Corey McKernan, as Robbo, you've already indicated, could well be a problem for Gary Ayres.
Well, we have had some rain earlier while the reserves were playing, but the conditions you would think at this stage, pretty good for football. Riccardi tries to tap it for the advantage of Barnes.
Mark Roberts and Wayne Carey doing a lot of interchanging. Centre bounces. Roberts has taken the centre half forward position, but then pushes back to full forward. Now Carey is there.
Well, Barnes doing the ruck work up against big Alex Ischenko. Ischenko gets a little kick to it. Rock, the ball rebounds. North Melbourne a chance. Schwass gets it to Blakey. Blakey sizes up the situation, goes to full forward. Good kick. Because it was to the back there of McGrath, who had got the front posse from the North Melbourne captain, Carey. And Carey has taken the mark. He judged it a little better, but I believe that it was the kick that helped Carey in this situation. McGrath, not much chance there to intercept, and Carey for his first shot at goal. Fairly reliable kick for goal is Wayne Carey under normal circumstances. He kicks from 40 metres.
Got too close to the man on the mark, I think.
He has missed. So North Melbourne 2-2, Geelong a point. We've got 12 minutes left in the first quarter.
Just a couple of matchups in the middle of the ground. Armstrong's on couch. Blakey is tagging Pickering. Stevens is going with Hocking.
Brown straight down the centre. McGrath the target. Hinkley got back. He had a long sleeve Guernsey on when he first went out tonight. Hinkley changed it in the warm-up. Out wide. Gets to Hocking. At centre wing. Good handball to Couch on the run. Couch, lovely looking kick to Hickmott. That's a fantastic build-up. Hickmott at 50. He kicks a goal normally. Not this time. Behind. Good distance. So the Cats a couple of points and North are 2-2. Hasn't quite made it, Hickmott. He's close. played 36 games in, it's been 4 seasons now, 92, 93, 94, 95, so he just hasn't quite consolidated. Came in the final series. Brownless in front spot, Hinkley again, on the left, good kick, Tudor, inside, Billy ran out of room, good tackle, he should be gone. Ross Smith's got him.
It was a great tackle by Ross Smith. He just didn't charge in and try and knock him out. He just cropped and wrapped him up, took him down with good tackling technique.
Goes to half-back, McKernan and Schenko out of play.
You talked about games played there a minute ago, Bruce. So we had a picture there quickly of the Geelong coaches box. Michael Tuck, Gary Ayres, Neville Bruns. A few there. Be close to 1,000, wouldn't there?
There's a lot there.
Off the top of your head. Left half forward for Geelong. Ruck contest is Schenko. Up against bench. Ball spills for Schwass. Schwass's high kick. Gets near to the wing. Punched away by the Geelong defence. Schwass again. Tackles Simpson. He's able to get the hand pass. Pickering's left foot kick into towards the pocket. Brewer, well done. He's marked. He'll shoot for goal. Difficult angle. Good kick by Brewer's a goal. Shane Brewer kicks Geelong's first goal. And North Melbourne lead by 6 points.
Ron Barassi loves talking footy.
2-2-1-2. North by 6 points. Ross out of the centre. Brown. Allison. Oh, good chance here. Loves to finish these off. A wobbler. Not good. McGrath couldn't quite handle it to behind. Well, on the run, you back Allison.
Yeah, he just tried to poke that one through, I think, rather than drilling it. But interesting to see that Wayne Schwass is interchanging on the forward flank with Anthony Stevens, so he's in at centre bounces, where he's regarded as one of the best in the AFL business.
North have let the Cats off the hook a couple of times. Kerry missed a relatively easy one. Allison missed a gimme. Blakey back to full forward. Good take by Hall, ex-West Coast. He debuted for Geelong against Fremantle this year and struggled over there at the Wacker. Hinkley's kick looks good. Hickmott, busy early. He's at half-back. Got around Roberts. Directs towards Brownless. Laidley mops up. Oh, well played. Then to half-forward to Carey. McKernan and Carey. They waxed it. No mark. Mansfield over it. Hip and shoulder by Stevens, okay. Then he paddles it out cleverly to King. Gives him the run of it. King at 50. Riccardi runs him down. Takes him down. Runs away from him. Little one to Gary Hocking. Put it back to Riccardi. Runs his full measure. Touches it on the ground. Left foots it to nobody. Smith should be able to take it. Bouncing footy. Gets hold of it at half-back. And then delivers to centre wing very poorly. Over the top of Hinkley as it was to Simpson.
Simpson off the left foot. Kicks it high to the 50-metre line for Geelong. The ball spills to Smith. Gets his right hand to it. Armstrong quickly, blindly. 3-on-1 Geelong must come out on top. Hinkley, little kick by that player. Gary Hocking approaches 50. Kicks in towards the front of the goals. Out in front of Ablett and Longmire. Longmire does well. Recovery was pretty good. Ross Smith, little left foot kick. Geelong fans not happy. Perhaps thought the free kick should have been forthcoming for Ablett. Away goes Scott from left half back. 2 bounces. Robert Scott must bounce it again or you'll get sprung. Surely. And that's the way the umpire sees it.
Well, twice in the space of a minute, Robbo, we've seen people bouncing the ball and then just kicking it back to the opposition or giving away a free kick as on that occasion.
Well, the Cats are a chance here through Shoal. Great mark. Terrific mark to Gary Ablett. Right in front, only 15 metres out. And he whips the glove off so that he can handle this ball. And the Geelong players quite prepared to go back to the wing area where they're giving Billy Brownless a bit of a pat. So maybe there might have been a shepherd in that passage of play that enabled Shoal to kick the ball forward for Ablett. Some of those smaller things, the 1%ers, we can miss, but the players certainly acknowledge the teamwork shown. And Ablett kicks for goal and gets his first for the night. So the Cats get their second, and they trail by the barest margin, one behind. 14 plays 15.
Scholl has been a revelation for Geelong this year. Got his chance after coming from North Melbourne, and good on him. He's really made the most of it. There he was, put Gary Ablett in a position to get the ball, but it took Gary Ablett's great skill to make the most of what was probably only a half chance.
North by point, 2-3-2-2. Barnes wins it. Armstrong looked for a free kick. Pickering couldn't get out of it. Jared Hockings had 8 touches so far, 4 and 4, and Couch 5, 4 and 1.
Well, Gary Hocking is just running wide at both of his opponents, Anthony Stevens and, of course, Wayne Swass. So he's obviously going to pick up plenty of possessions.
Hinkley, Reynolds and Minch. Reynolds came in for Graham, rather for Mickey Martin. Graham the other way from McClure. Free kick to Tudor. Tudor goes to Ablett. Good kick. Beautiful kick. Ablett slipped one eye then.
Lee Tudor doing a good job leading Ross Smith up to the half-back line. He hasn't been exposed at all this year, Ross Smith. In fact, he's probably North Melbourne's best player. But on that occasion, with his blistering pace, he did get away from his opponent. And more importantly, pinpointed for Gary Ablett to line up for another goal.
But he's 2 years older than anyone else out there tonight. He's kicked 48 goals this year. They like it. 49. Geelong suddenly in front. Big turnaround. 3-2 to 2-3.
Well, he could have perhaps got the free kick there. In fact, he did get the free kick. And he charged off. Perhaps that was, well, a fairly tough decision by the umpire, not making him go back over his mark. All the North Melbourne players had stopped dead. But Gary Ablett, already 2.
North Melbourne have made a change. Craig Scholl is on the ground. Didn't quite pick up who came off, but we'll have a look now. It's King. The umpire forced to bounce once again. Nothing happening from the first centre bounce. Gary Hocking gets his left foot to it and clears the centre area. Awkward bounce, goes back for Mitch. Mitch over the top. Taken now by Armstrong, throws it onto his left foot, he's kicked to half forward, missed by Roberts, ball spills, Riccardi, ball knocked into Couch's path, Couch kicks towards centre half forward, nearly the mark to Archer, Tudor running onto it, little kick, fairly well ineffective, taken by Fairley, tackled by Ablett, North Melbourne defence under pressure, Tudor's a chance, nearly run down by his opposite number 11 Archer, Hickmott, tackled by Laidley, ball spills for Brewer. Brewer's already kicked a goal from a similar area on the ground. He's kicked to the front, is helped over by Gary Ablett for a rush behind to the Cats.
There's been a great straight swap with King for Craig Scholl. He's gone on to Riccardi, who has been quite damaging in the first quarter.
Mashenko off now as well. Fairly in the back pocket. To centre wing. Brownless, McKernan. Goes to ground. Capuano, now Stevens, to Rock, caught. Now there's a free kick coming back for a high tackle. Stevens is going to get it at centre wing. So Capuano's come on for Ashenko. Stevens to half forward, Carey the target. McGrath, fed by Simpson, centre wing again. Brownless goes early. Free kick against him. No, against Stevens for Shepparton.
Good decision, that one from the umpire. Stevens just tried to take Billy's run.
Good kick by Billy. Look for Minch. Gave him a chance. Hickmott at the bottom. Back to Minch. Not a bad kick either. The centering one. Smith safety first. Blakey sits, waits. Pickering did well. Ablett, not a good handle by Pickering. Longmire got rid of Ablett. Still with Pickering. Hocking's hands were quick. Couch has to sit, wait. Got one in the back. No free kick. Armstrong. Allison over the top. The handball out by Mansfield. Brewer, a beauty. Ken Hinkley on the left. Sprays it and misses the lot on the fall.
That was a fairly rare sight to see Gary Ablett handballing. I think it's about his 7th for the season.
Capuano in the back pocket. It's 2-3 North, 3-3 Geelong.
Well, North Melbourne got the first 2 goals of the game, and Geelong have kicked the last 3 to lead by a goal. Carey in picture. 4 minutes left in the first term. The ball in Geelong's forward half by about 30 metres. Still about 80 metres from their goal. Knocked down towards Gary Hocking. Couch tries to get it clear again for Hocking. Unsuccessful. Umpire will bounce. Still about 80 to 85 metres from Geelong's goal. And the ruckman to contest this bounce are Barnes and young Capuano. Gary Hocking couldn't get the ball clear. He goes in after it again. This time his hand pass is effective. Out goes Blakey. Blakey, little kick. Barnes, just to no one in particular, to centre-half forward. Bashed forward by Hocking. Taken by Fairley. Fairley from centre-half back. Kicks back in towards the centre. Nearly taken by Capuano. Beaten for it there by Brown. Brown's little left foot kick for Ablett. Longmire. Back to Laidley. In a spot of bother. Fairley running across the front of the goals, the square, and his kick finds touch in front of Scholl. It's out of bounds in the opposite area from the previous attack by the Cats, right half forward, 50 metres from their goal.
And good to see Craig Scholl getting a run on the wing. He's been under a bit of pressure this season, but I think the wing is his best position.
He's in the action now, Gerard. Smothered by Brownless was good. Hocking, Brownless again. Still with Brownless in the pocket.
Oh, good strip.
By Fairley. He's been pretty good tonight, Ian Fairley, back on the team. One of the veterans.
And apart from the first 6 or 8 minutes, Geelong have been right on top.
3-3-2-3 they lead. Kangaroos jump them early. Cats back strongly. Stevens at the back for North. Gets it to the centre wing. Carey just gave McGrath a little tiny one. But no free kick and away Carey. Oh, look at this. There's a panic. McKernan versus Hall. It's going to sit beautifully, I think, for McKernan. It's a goal. Extraordinary piece of play. His second. There was a panic. The Carey kick sat beautifully for McKernan.
Great mark. Just did edge him out, but legitimately turned around. Had to play on. But saw his only option was kick it into space. Luckily that he's got the fastest 6'5" player in the business who outstripped his man Derek Hall. Kick a goal.
Brilliant kick by Carey to space. Well, scores are level. And we've got 2.5 minutes left in the first quarter. It's been entertaining stuff. Fairly close, in tight. Big punch, extremely big punch by Capuano. Puts the half-back line of Geelong under pressure. McKernan and McGrath. McGrath goes off the ground. Close to the line, it will roll over in front of Hickmott and Craig Scholl. So we'll have a throw in centre wing, quite near the players' interchange area. 3-3 apiece. McKernan has kicked 2 for North Melbourne. We think it may have been Mark Roberts that is the other goal kicker for North Melbourne. Gary Ablett 2 for Geelong. 1 to Shane Brewer. Taken by Simpson. He's tackled. That could have nearly been Dean holding the ball. Oh, brilliant interception by Blakey. And away he goes towards the goal. The pass is all right. And Schwass, great stuff by Wayne Schwass. He knew he was going to get knocked to the ground by the guy from behind. But the fella from in front he was able to evade. And he'll have a shot for goal. And watch this. Blakey, prominent.
He's done well because he's taken Pickering out of the game, basically, and then just set up Wayne Schwass. Great lead and good night.
Well, Schwass rewarded with a shot for goal for North Melbourne in the dying seconds of the first quarter. Kick by Schwass is a behind. Well, you can usually tell by looking at the player who's kicked the ball. He wasn't too pleased, Wayne Schwass, but sometimes those goal umpires, I don't trust them, Bruce.
Their reaction, you certainly trust their decision, not their reaction.
Correct.
3-4, 3-3. They've missed a few, North. They've had 3 relatively easy shots for goal for 3 behinds here. So Geelong let off the hook a bit. Capuano, good grab. And the tide has turned, hasn't it, late in this quarter? Back to North Melbourne.
The bloke on screen has had a bit of a hand in it.
Capuano to full forward. Schwass sets himself at the back. Barnes, here's Allison. Mops up, he's got it. Well, Barnes thumping away, and Allison has kicked 11 goals in his last 4 matches going in.
you get the impression that if North Melbourne are prepared to get the ball down quickly, those tall blokes, Carey, McKernan, Capuano, etc., Roberts as a support act, going to cause Geelong some problems.
Oh, absolutely. They're so mobile. I was just a bit concerned about the last two times John Barnes has had the ball, one looping handball to nobody, and then that one, which was fairly innocuous, just a tap away, which has cost him a goal.
Well, play restarted, a minute left in the term. Geelong, Couch, couldn't quite get an effective hand pass away. Stevens really hard at the football. No doubting his tenacity, Anthony Stevens. Umpire Brian Sheehan to bounce the ball. Only about 12 metres from the centre circle. Barnes up high, gets his left hand to it. Mansfield now to kick it back for Geelong. Brownless up against him as Fairley. Fairley got his right foot to it. Now Capuano kicks it clear, but only as far there as Scholl. And Scholl for Geelong kicks it wide towards the wing. The mark is taken by Hocking. He looks to play on. Urgency for the Cats. Well done. The mark has been taken on the 50-metre line for Geelong. Ablett making position, but in short, Brewer has marked, and the kick came in from... Hickmott, was it 50 metres? Hickmott, was it? And Brewer will shoot for his second goal. There's the siren. So whatever score this is, will be the final score for the first quarter. Brewer from only 30 metres. Goal umpire is right behind it. It looks pretty good. Geelong score? No, it's a behind kick by Shane Brewer. And at quarter time, there's the player that kicked the last score, Shane Brewer. At quarter time, as Gary Ayres comes down, North Melbourne lead 4-4, Geelong at 3-4, and Dennis Pagan and his men enter the arena.
And I think Dennis Pagan will be fairly pleased with the way his structure has finished off the quarter. John Longmire's done a reasonable job on Gary Ablett. He has conceded 2 goals, but up the other end of the ground, their forward line has looked fairly potent, pretty mobile and fairly dangerous. Carey just looks like he's ready to take the game by the throat. And Corey McKernan's also been important.
So quarter time of the Melbourne Cricket Ground. North are a goal in front of Geelong. It's 4-4 to 3-4.
The Tigers on the rebound. Sydney on a roll. That's
Scores at quarter time. North by a goal over Geelong. It's 4-4-28 to 3-4-22.
This is Friday Night Football from the MCG, presented proudly by 7 Sports.
Gary Ayres leaves the arena. Dennis Pagan's already done that. The big difference down the boundary line. It was a pretty good first quarter, Dip.
A good first quarter there, Bruce, and both coaches instructing their players, but there's a bit of a chess game going on out here because Gary Ablett and Shane Brewer are changing from centre-half forward to full forward every 5 and 10 minutes, and Dennis Pagan has asked his players to keep the forward line open, as we saw in the first quarter. He's got his half-forward line onto the wing, and every time the ball's in the forward line, half-forward and wingman chase on, and we saw those 4 goals kicked in that quarter.
So the second quarter about to start, as we have a look at some statistics there, Jared.
The scoring events there, Robbo, which shows that Geelong came back at North, and then North came away again at the end. So they're in fits and starts as we start the second term, 4-4 to 3-4. North now going to the right of screen, and Allison tries to push forward. Hall gets in there for the Cats. He had his hands full with McKernan in the opening turn. Scott over the top, and it's going to be a bounce down.
Gee, there wasn't a bad little delivery there by Armstrong, just to get it away from that centre bounce. He kicked it back towards Scholl, and
pretty tall bench
clever
there now for North Melbourne. Roberts, Oshenko, Keenan Reynolds.
Stevens gets it clear, but only as far as Pickering. Pickering's handball sets it up for Couch. Couch goes down the ground. Oh, but a good mark is taken by Ross Smith. He may have been asked to play on, but he did it quickly anyway to Laidley. Laidley spotted a player on centre wing. It's Robert Scott. Scott has marked. He's been asked to play on. Kicks it in towards centre-half forward. He was a little cramped with the kick, but he got good distance. As far as Allison, the kick by Allison. Here's a goal coming up for North. Wayne Schwass won't miss that. Schwass gets his first goal, and he looks damaging, Gerard. He's not playing in a wing or centre line area. Surely he's down there in that forward line.
Well, he's interchanging with Anthony Stevens out of a forward pocket, and it's worked pretty well today. That was a smart kick from Allison. I think he meant that. And also good work there from Wayne Carey, who kept Tim McGrath away from Wayne Swass, who has had a good start to the game.
North Melbourne 2 goals in front. Schwass getting his first. Blakey was good in the opening term. Hinkley, along with Hocking and Couch between them, had 29 possessions in the first quarter. So big stats from that trio. Jeff Caulfield, Dennis Rich, Brian Sheehan. We've got some experience here tonight in the 3 umpires. Couch with a little one. Hickmott had it robbed by McKernan. Little kick by Simpson. Smith. Pretty good job to keep that in. Hickmott was there. Rock's handball excellent. Stevens under pressure blazed away out on the full. So North kicked the first 2 goals, Geelong the next 3, and North have got the last 3 in this game. Hocking. Brian Sheehan saying that Scholl has to take it. Had a couple of games at North Melbourne. And now settling in at Geelong. Robert Scott, he's doing the opposite. Brown. Liccardi, good. Brown, very good. Mansfield, no, chopped off. Scholl to Schwass. This could be damaging. McKernan at the back.
Oh.
Poor kick. Because McKernan wanted it very deep. Scholl cut it off. Gets to Brownless. Gary Ayres spent a fair bit of time with Brownless and Minch at quarter time. Just letting them know how he wanted them to play that forward line. Smith gets it from Capuano. Back into the centre. And short kick marked by Simpson.
Gee, Scott could have been in the action a little bit more there. Simpson's kick towards the wing, punched away there by Rock. Down it comes to Hinkley. Hinkley forced to kick off the left foot. Doesn't do such a bad job, but it'll be chopped off there by Fairley. Fairley goes in towards centre-half forward. North Melbourne mark. McKernan, brilliant. McKernan off the right foot. Kicks to a 1-on-3. North Melbourne will get it. It was a great kick. Wasn't it? Precision stuff. And the mark has been taken by Carey, and he's only 20 metres out on an ever-so-slight angle.
And Corey thought he'd just reciprocate after the events of the first quarter when Wayne Carey set him up for a similar type goal. Just running forward into space was Wayne Carey, but this time McKernan's kick was absolutely spot on. This is a good game of football.
Well, Carey kicking for his first. Ablett at the other end has kicked 2. Carey stabs at it. He has capitalised. He's kicked a goal. Carey gets his first, and North Melbourne get their 6th goal. They lead 6-4 to 3-4.
And Wayne Carey, you can see him just gasping for air there. Now, we do believe that he struggled all week with the flu, so you would think he's not 100% physically, but he certainly is doing a pretty good job at the moment.
North Melbourne lead by 3 goals, and they're getting those centre clearances. This time it's Rock to half forward. Play on, says the umpire. Carey. Through goes Riccardi. He's grabbed. Was that a free kick? Yes, it was. Riccardi will take the ball for Geelong.
At half-back goes to Hinkley, and Hinkley short. Barnes has got it. Good stretch. Quickly on. Oh, bad handle again, Barnes. Mr. Smart, Scott. Laidley, the tackle by Couch was excellent, and the footy by Couch was pretty good, but they've got him. Armstrong, and Couch is gone in the end. He's a bit stiff because he made all the running.
Was there?
David Mench has come down in defence to go onto Corey McKernan.
Oh, Brown's big leap, and then Mench takes it out of his hand. Play on. Too many cats had hold of it. No mark. It was a team mark, but not the individual. The right decision. Hickmott kept his cool.
In trouble, Hickmott.
Scholl was in trouble too. Hickmott unfortunately injured, and Scholl in trouble because he's run over the boundary line. North have got a bit of steam up here. Schwass came in and really let his teammates know what a fine job they'd done of putting Scholl over the boundary line. There's Laidley with a headache. Hickmott, so they were going down like 9 pins in that bit of action. Nichols gets his first kick to half forward. Carey had a fair bit of it. Not paid. G. McGrath's handball had to be spot on. Minch, Hinkley, sat, waited. Inside, Scholl, Hocking. normally constructive on the left to half forward. Brewer was there, Laidley waiting down. Laidley's little one, a paddock. He saw Stevens. Stevens can go on. He can go all the way. There's an empty goal square. And Mansfield got back quickly. And now comes away in the back pocket to half-back Mensch. Well done, Capuano. Too far in the end for McKernan. Barnes, all danger. Real danger. Under pressure, Simpson to the boundary line, out of play.
Actually, not good signs there for Geelong. A few little panic moves, Jared, maybe.
Well, just another handball from John Barnes. It was a wish handball.
Right half forward, nearly up to right forward pocket for North Melbourne. They lead 6-4 to 3-4. At the back, chance for Geelong to clear. It's Pickering. Pickering from centre half back goes in towards the centre of the ground. And making good ground, taking the mark close to his shins was Brewer. Brewer looking to play on. Now he does so. Kicks wide to the wing. Couch is out there. Couch off that left foot. He usually delivers the ball brilliantly. This is no exception. Towards the front of the square. Big leap. North Melbourne defence under a bit of pressure. Longmire gets a kick, but it's smothered off the boot. Brewer, handball. Gary Hocking, shot for goal, taken by Longmire in the square. Johnny Longmire goes short and finds Armstrong near the 50-metre line. So North Melbourne temporarily out of trouble.
To centre wing, McKernan in the right spot. Barnes did well that time. Stevens roving very well. Back to Fairley, who's been most impressive, had 5 kicks in the opening term. Oh, what a mark by Allison. But
now this is amazing. He's going to give a free kick to Geelong, and the bloke's taking the mark. Decision, please.
Well, I guess he ruled that he blocked Mensch's path. The ball wasn't within 5 metres. In fact, before he marked it, I thought it was the right decision. So I reckon good work from the umpire under a bit of scrutiny there.
Well, Allison seemed to keep his eye on it. Brown from the centre. Ablett went early and high. Chance for Lord. Misses. Just come onto the ground. It's a great atmosphere tonight.
Gee, that'd be a perfect situation for an umpire to get into your show on Sunday and explain that, wouldn't it?
Look at that kick.
Which show's that, Robert?
Sports World, boys. 11 o'clock, footy hour, or 9 o'clock?
Take your pick. Riccardi from half forward. It's 6-4 to 3-5. He's probably a little too far out, though. That's a terrific kick for distance with a little hook behind. 3-6 Geelong, 6-4 North Melbourne.
Those last 2 behinds kicked by Geelong would have been their first score for pretty well 20 minutes, I would suggest, because they've got 3-4 on the scoreboard late in their first term, and until those 2 behinds, they were scoreless in this second term. This is Ross Smith for North Melbourne. Kicks straight down the ground. It's a good kick, well outside 50 metres. No mark. The ball spills down to the centre area proper. Dragged to the ground was Scholl, and the umpire, because there's 3 umpires, was only about 10 metres from that incident and made it fairly simple to officiate. Scholl's kick to full forward, not taken by Carey. Back goes Brewer, defending for Geelong. He kicks close to the line. It will beat Riccardi over, and a throw-in will take place right near where the players enter the MCG. And Glenn Archer having a spell on the bench for North Melbourne. Pickering, 23 for Geelong. Number 12, Blakey for North Melbourne, but it's Capuano. The ball spills for Armstrong off that left foot. He gets it 30 metres, up near the 50-metre line. Nearly taken by Stevens. He went in after it again against Mansfield. So did Riccardi and Roberts. The ball spills for a throw-in. 6-4-40, plays 3-6. 24, the 16-point advantage is with North Melbourne, and we've got about 10 minutes left in the second quarter.
McKernan and Barnes, Scott, Mansfield and Schwass, and players from either side going in and giving their players some encouragement there. At 75 metres from North's goal, McKernan. Hinkley tapped it forward. Scholl should get a free kick. Advantage is given. Mansfield away, up to the forward pocket. Ablett at the back. Lord. Scholl with him. Lord off the ground. Laidley gets back. It's still in play. Left-hand handball. Showed a lot of confidence in Fairley. Fairley away. Good play to Blakey. And Blakey can come over the top to Armstrong. 2 ex-Fitzroy players. He gets him. Armstrong goes to ground. He's got some time though. Then delivers McKernan in the front spot. Allison was at the back, ridden into the ground. No free kick. Brown over the top of his opponent. Barnes backtracks. Oh, gives it away. Carey's left foot misses a behind.
Chris, I've just been watching Wayne Schwass. He's on the left-hand forward point of the square. We may get a look at him. He's been in the hands of the trainers since the previous incident out there on that far wing as Tim McGrath prepares to kick in. He's running now, but he looked as though he's in a bit of strife there. May have recovered. McGrath kicks in for Geelong. Nice long kick towards the centre-half back region. The ball spills to the back with Gary Hocking. Hocking kicks it towards half-forward. It'll spill, but only as far as Fairley. Fairley backed his judgment. His wobbling punt kick. Dropped by Simpson, taken by Schwass. He has recovered. Don't worry, North fans. The kick by Schwass is with Stevens. He can go for goal. He can bomb away, and he can make the Cats pay with a North Melbourne goal. So far in this second term, North Melbourne have added 3 goals, and the Cats are goalless.
Graham Corns joins McAvaney and Sheehan. This week on Talking.
7-5, 3-6, the big margin so far in the match. Armstrong, Geelong need a goal in a hurry. Up to half forward. Mansfield attacking it. In the front spot, Roberts and Stevens has been good. Scott's in there with Mansfield. 47-24. Nearly double the score. After Geelong have got the lead in the first term. Right now, Gary Ablett will be cold at full forward. He's hardly got down there in this quarter. A couple of minor points. Left foot by Mansfield, out of the centre. Hard ball for Fairley. He's been the outstanding defender. To centre-half forward. Allison did pretty well there. He stopped the Cats in their tracks. Carey's kicked to the front of the square. Riccardi back, gets it, takes it. Both teams went in tonight without their fullbacks. Mickey Martin, a late withdrawal along with Ben Graham. Minch takes it from Riccardi, kicks to centre wing. Capuano in the box seat. Brewer, they had to fly. Laidley, well done Hickmott. Pickering on the left to centre half forward. Can Ablett get into the action? He can. He takes a good mark. Made the ground. And what's happening here? Is a free kick? Is it a Brownless?
It's an enormous leap by Gary Ablett though, Robbo, wasn't it? Yeah, we were 3 or 4 feet off the ground, or it looked that high anyway.
It's amazing though, the turnovers. Laidley had the ball on wing. Just slipped, lost possession. Now the ball with Geelong, and they have a shot for goal through Billy Brownless.
He's only kicked 1 goal, Billy, in his last 3 matches. This would be handy. He's hit the post.
North Melbourne are playing this open forward line to their advantage at the moment. They haven't got anybody inside the 50-metre arc. We've already seen 2 goals created by them kicking over their heads, and it would be a little bit daunting for the Geelong boys because it is something new.
22-point advantage for North Melbourne. Riccardi gives away a little bit of ground and gets it back to Barnes. Barnes, quite talented. Little kick, and a good mark is taken by Couch. Laidley was there, but couldn't quite reach the football, and Couch will shoot for goal. He must kick this for Geelong. Watch Barnes, the talented tall player for Geelong. And Couch goes for goal, but he hooks it and registers just a behind. Tanner on the ground, Gerard, as Couch kicks that behind for Geelong. So the Cats swinging the changes, and very, very necessary because North Melbourne have played pretty well in this second term. The kick in by Ross Smith is okay. Finds Blakey.
Full stretch for Blakey at half-back. Cats haven't kicked a goal since the 19-minute mark of the opening term, when Ablett kicked his second. Blakey up to half-forward. McKernan.
Good play.
There's nobody to kick it to, Bruce. Into open space again.
Yet again. They were like the Twin Peaks in McKernan and Carey. Simpson, after Roberts showed a fair bit of courage. Hinkley. Here's a chance for Geelong to set something up. It should sit for Minch. Onto it now. Scott Tanner has just come on the ground inside. Goes further inside to Scholl, to Tanner. Not a great handball. Probably not a great option. Ablett in the box seat. Well played by Longmire at the back. And it's well played indeed because it's out of play in front of Tudor. 7-5, 3-8. Tudor busy early. Nichols off, Ashenko on. Talk about David and Goliath.
there you can see the North Melbourne forward line totally empty. Wayne Carey just lurking back at about 40 metres.
Hocking over the top with Scott. 21 points the difference. The Buddha picks himself up. Had 12 possessions in the opening term. There's Trent Nichols. He was dropped 4 weeks ago and hasn't kicked a goal since. Last year kicked 28. He's played 3 games without a goal, Nichols, and he's really there for that snaring ability. Archer alongside of him.
David Mensch now playing kick behind the play in the ruck because John Barnes has moved over on to Corey McKernan.
Up high Brownless. Couch gets his left foot to a Tudor. Unselfishly kicks across the face of goal. Longmire and Ablett. Ablett holding on. That's the way the umpire has seen it. And Longmire will take the free kick in the left back pocket for North Melbourne.
Well, sometimes you've just got to be selfish to produce the best result for the team. I think Lee Tudor had every right to have a shot at goal on that one.
Longmire goes down the boundary line. It's punched away from McKernan by Kenny Hinkley. And they'll have a boundary throw in. Right half forward for the Cats. There's still only 3 goals. And I think you mentioned, Bruce, it was about the 20-minute mark of the first quarter that they kicked their 3rd goal. So a bit of a drought for Geelong. The kick towards half forward. Taken now by Tudor. Snapshot for goal. Across his left shoulder. He's wide. And not very handsome. It will be a free kick for North Melbourne. In that back pocket, Lee Tudor in picture. Johnny Longmire will kick it back out for North Melbourne. Doesn't try and kick it too far. Tries to get close to the line. Ischenko taken by Schwass, but the ball is over. And we'll have a throw in right half forward for Geelong. About 65 to 70 metres around from their goal. Maybe a little further. So probably 2 kicks from Geelong's goal.
Ischenko and Brownless. Billy works to the front. Alex at the back. High tackle on Rock by the look of it. And a free kick. The Cats, since that 20-minute mark, or 19-minute mark, Robbo kicked 6 consecutive points. They were 3-2 at that stage. They're 3-8 now. Rock away at centre-half back. Squeezes it to the centre. Blakey. Brewer's going to have to go. Did pretty well, but Blakey on hands and knees. Holding the footy. Gee,
Pretty hot, that one.
Brewer's going to get it. Geelong need a couple of late goals just to tighten this match up before half-time. Hocking out wide. He's got a couple of Cats here. Riccardi. Swooping on at Simpson. At 50 now. Right there. Not bad. Very good. It's a goal, I think. It is Simpson from nowhere. Kicks the Cats' 4th goal. The drought has ended. And suddenly, when you look at the scoreboard, it's still pretty tight. It's 7-5, 4-8.
The tourists travel to Eastern Creek for another round of champions.
Geelong will get the ball out of the centre. Kick forward by Couch. Towards centre-half forward. Maybe mopped up by Smith. Strong in defence, but the ball blocked off his boot. Handball clear was not all that brilliant by King, but it's tidied up by Laidley. The kick towards half forward, that's a mark. Not paid. Hickmott off the ground. Punch forward by Stevens. At centre-half forward for North Melbourne. Hocking goes down. Stevens has tied him up. Schwass grabbed off the football. Still North Melbourne go forward. McKernan's kick to the goal square. It spills to the back where McGrath is first to recover for Geelong. And Tim McGrath's kick is close to the line. No, it's a free kick back in the back pocket. And it looks as though it may go to Geelong to be taken by their key defender, Tim McGrath. 4-8 Geelong, 7-5 North Melbourne. And a fairly blatant free kick against Allison for pushing McGrath after he kicked the ball. McGrath in the right back pocket. Kicks outside 50 towards half back. It's punched back. Blakey and Pickering. Pickering gets a sweeping hand pass to it, but only for the clearance of the boundary line, and a throw-in will take place about 95 metres from the North Melbourne goal. It's at left half forward for the Kangaroos.
Barnes and McKernan. McKernan with a couple of first quarter goals.
Capuano off Nichols on, Bruce.
Roberts to centre half forward. Carey at the back, good mark. Timed it beautifully. You can see the vacant forward line a moment ago when we had the high and wide shot after Carey's mark.
Just have a look at the big leap from Wayne Carey, coming from about 3 deep, judged at the bell.
Kicked a goal in the second quarter, going for a second. Good kick, it's a goal. Couple of goals to Carey, stretches the margin again with 4 minutes remaining. It's 8 goals, 5 North and 4-8 Geelong.
Good breakaway here from Mark Roberts. He's had his time on the bench. Sets this one up, just hoping that one of their tools will grab it. Wayne Carey was the man.
Well, a free kick has been picked out of the ruck contest. It'll go to Minch. He's kicked towards half forward. King, but it's a good mark taken by Brewer. Oh, gee, he's a jack in the box. Short pass, okay. Ablett is marked. Gary Ablett would be just inside 40 metres. He'd be about 38 metres from goal. He'll have to kick the ball about 42 metres to score. You wouldn't think that'd be any problem for this champion player that he is. Straightforward chest mark. You notice the right glove missing as he kicks for goal. Can he get his third? He hooks the kick, and it is just one behind. Gary Ablett, 2 goals, 1. The Cats inaccurate. 4-9. North Melbourne, 8-5. Margin 20 points now in favour of North Melbourne. Down to nearly 3 minutes left in the second term. Now, what's happening here? We've lost the footy. Here it comes. Too expensive for those supporters to get away with those these days. A share in football. Laidley kicks it to himself and close to the line. Gee, was nearly hemmed in there. North Melbourne a chance to get clear. Oh, tackled strongly was Fairley. Armstrong can't get his left foot to it. Fairley's underneath all that, and North Melbourne lock it up 50 metres from Geelong's goal. It will be a bounce.
53-33. Ashenko wins it. Punched away by Laidley towards the boundary line. Armstrong straight to the boundary line. Out of play. At about 55 metres. Matthew Armstrong played over 130 games with Fitzroy. His first season now at North Melbourne. Brownless won it, but Stevens roved it. Scholl onto it. In the centre square. Loses it. Roberts stood his ground well. Handball was a bit hot in the circumstances. Tanner very good. Hinkley normally very good. It's a goal. An important one. One that really counts. 8-5-5-9.
Well, you did call Tanner's handball. It was outstanding. And players spend many hours practicing short, sharp handballs under intense pressure. That one there was a little bit too severe, but that one was with the right hand. Probably should have been with the left, but when they're that hot, you've just got to bend them round, turn them around the corner.
8-5 plays 5-9. North Melbourne get the ball forward, but only as far as Hickmott. He's kicked to half forward, nearly taken by Brewer. He's tackled, didn't have the ball. Umpire calls play on. Brewer after it again. Gets it back to Tanner. Already had an impact. Has been on half the game. Kicked towards half forward. The ball spills now. A chance for Riccardi. Another left foot goal. No, it's not. It's touched on the line by Fairley. Kicked by Peter Riccardi. He's kicked 3 behinds on my scoreline. Geelong progress. Ross Smith kicks in. The Cats are 5-10. North Melbourne are 8-5. Great mark taken by Tanner. Tanner is 55 metres from goal. 1 3/4 minutes left in the second term. Can the Cats get another goal? The kick is short. And North Melbourne got plenty of defenders back there. Longmire kicks from a very tight situation. Knocked forward. Big punch by McKernan. In towards the centre of the ground. Left by McGrath. Was that a good choice? Scholl kicks it back hurriedly. Schwass got some space and then throws it onto his left foot. Kicks it high in the air. The breeze has got hold of it. It bounces near the very hard centre of the MCG. Chance for Allison. Can't break clear. That was a throw. Nearly taken there by Reynolds, but he's beaten for it by Couch. He's tackled. Handball away. Simpson quickly off the left foot to half forward. Geelong gathered the ball. Tudor handballs in front of himself. Backs his pace over Ross Smith. Slips to the ground. Still a chance for Geelong. Tudor. Gary Hocking. Off the right boot goes Gary Hocking. It's a goal to the Cats. Hocking happy. Gary Hocking gets his first goal. The Cats hit back. It's a margin of 7 points close to half-time. North Melbourne's favour.
Anthony Stevens leaping in the middle of the ground, but this has just turned into a really good game of footy. Lee Tudor just attacked the ball flat out. Ross Smith right in his hammer. I think Tanner's been important this last 5 minutes, but a good captain's goal there from Gary Hocking. He's having a good match.
Geelong closing in, 53 to 46 just before half-time. North had a 22-point margin at one stage in this game. Smith. Tudor again, Tanner again, to full forward, Billy Brownless has got it!
He's just given him a bit of bite up in the forward line, Tanner, in the last 5 or 10 minutes. Some important possessions.
He's had 4 big touches. The first the handball, and 3 after that. And Billy to put the Cats within a point. He's got it! 3 goals in a hurry, and Geelong have come charging back just before half-time.
I think Paul Couch's last 5 minutes has also been important. There you see Ross Smith with nowhere to go. Quick hands, Tanner once again, and Bill Brownless does his juggling act to perfection.
Brownless's first goal gets Geelong within a point as we're about to go into the long break. And as we've seen so often in this game so far, Jared, there's been a big swing. We saw North early, then Geelong, and then North completely take over. And now it's Geelong who has the momentum at half-time. Tanner important, Carey obviously important. But the Cats trail by a point, but they would be feeling like winners as they go in for the big break.
Sure, I think they've had a bit of a moral victory there in the last 6 minutes, Geelong rather.
Yeah, they have, but they're still going 1 point down, and North Melbourne know that they perhaps just took the foot off the accelerator just for that minute. And Paul Couch there, he's been one of the best players on the ground in the first half. He's having a marvellous year, and they'll go down, Geelong, full of enthusiasm, I'm sure, Robbo. But we've still got a very tight tussle.
Cats kicked 3 goals in the last 4 minutes of the opening half. And as we go in for the break, North Melbourne are a point in front, 8-5 to 7-10. Half about to commence, 8-5, 7-10. North Melbourne a point in front over Geelong on Friday night football at the MCG. Minch in the ruck. Gary Hocking, good first half, terrific goal late. Laidley keeping his eye on it, King underneath it. Tanner's hands were good again. Couch to Hickmott. Hickmott at 50. Goes to full forward. Ablett's got a chance. Comes from the side, one hand. Brownless was there. Tudor off the ground. And Tudor was pretty good in that first half. As Laidley would have taken a pretty tough tumble here. Right down on that collarbone, shoulder, arm area. But he's a tough fellow. And he's okay. Everything being relative, of course. Blakey, caught by Ablett. Pretty good Blakey in the first half. Most constructive.
Yes, Geelong would be looking for a lift from Liam Pickering. He's had a pretty big year. Very quiet tonight by his standards.
Brownless wins it, tried to go over the back. Free kick against the Cats, against Hickmott. And Armstrong's going to get that in the back pocket.
Yes, didn't have the ball, Matthew Armstrong, when he was tackled, so he's got the ball now, courtesy of that free kick, and he kicks it long out towards the wing. The ball spills to the back. It's taken by Scholl. Handball, Gary Hocking. Sizes it up, gets it to Hinkley. Quickly onto the left foot. Not very far. Scholl to Barnes. Barnes to Gary Hocking. Some space there for the Geelong ruck rover centre man. And his kick is all right. It's been marked by Hickmott. Laidley, a little disgusted with himself, dumps Hickmott. Hickmott's kick into the pocket. Good lead, good mark. Ablett. Ablett is 40 metres from goal. So once again, you'll see the relative ease with which Gary Ablett kicks distances. And minus the gloves at the start of this second half. He's kicked 2 goals for Geelong. Gary Ablett's now kicked 3 goals. That is a magnificent kick by Ablett. So Geelong are in front. They lead by 5 points early in this third quarter.
Well, the kick came from Adrian Hickmott, who took an absolutely fantastic mark in a pack. I think, Bruce, and Robert, it's only a matter of time before Adrian just jumps up into that quality type of player category.
Geelong in front. Ablett with his 50th goal for the season. Hickmott again having a big match to centre half forward. Brewer, good stretch. Geelong are on fire. That one smothered by King. Tanner again. Hocking can't break the tackle by Blakey. It was a good one. Pickering on the left, didn't go very far. Ablett looking for a free, not there. Another free kick being looked for by Brewer. In fact, he's still arguing with the umpire. Took his eye off the footy and everything and wanted to go on with it. Couldn't believe it. Jeff Caulfield, Dennis Rich made that decision. Brian Sheehan, they're the umpires tonight. Mensch, backhander. Robert Scott, few kicks early, quiet second quarter. Mansfield had hold of Allison. Barnes scooped it. Armstrong, now Mansfield again. He's run a long, long way to centre half forward. Rock against the tide. Neat. Smith, not happy with the kick, but it should find touch. Riccardi tries to bang it back in, and to no avail. It's 8-10 Geelong, 8-5 North Melbourne. North led 7 goals to 3, so the Cats have kicked 5 of the last 6 goals in this match.
Boundary throw in. Capuano now on the ball, gets his right fist to it. Scott couldn't control it. Kick forward by Archer, gathered by Pickering. Handball to no one in particular, to the back, Hinkley. Handball past Schwass. Sets it up now for Simpson. Oh, they've messed it up. Scott may be off the ground. Hinkley does well. Scott goes in after it. The ball rebounds, but not clear of the congestion. And it's tucked up underneath there somewhere. You can see the yellow Sharon. And the umpire will bounce just forward of the centre circle, between the centre of the ground and centre half forward, favouring Geelong. They lead 8-10 to 8-5. The goal in the third term coming from the boot of Gary Ablett, who's kicked 3 goals. Kick clear. Barnes overruns it. Knocked forward by McKernan. Nearly taken by Carey, but Barnes, sure ball handling. Hinkley doesn't mind creating an opportunity. That little kick out to the advantage of Pickering. Handball over the top. Into the pocket, Tudor. Loves this position. Short kick, Ablett has marked again.
It's been there before, Tudor, hasn't he?
Revisited. My word.
And Liam Pickering getting a couple of touches early, and it's of great consequence, I suppose, that John Blakey is now picking up the skipper for the Cats in the middle and has released Pickering.
Ablett goes for his 4th goal, makes no mistake. Four goals won to that superstar, Gary Ablett, in the scoreline of Geelong 9-10, North Melbourne 8-5.
Ken Hinkley getting the ball moving. There's Liam Pickering. John Blakey no longer his shadow. Got it over to Tudor, who was, well, he always looks for the high percentage shot to the top of the square, sometimes to his own detriment, but on that occasion, it's the spot-on thing to do.
Blakey and the Hocking and Couch.
I don't think Gary is the captain any longer for Geelong.
8-5, 9-10. Geelong 6 of the last 7 goals. Ablett's got 4 now. Pickering raising his standards in this match. Smith getting rid of Tudor. Free kick. Tudor's been terrific. So constructive. He has had the better of Smith so far. Goes to the pocket, Ablett. Longmire at the back. Ablett read it pretty well. Accelerates. Scholes' little handball. The kick by King back into the heart of the, or didn't quite get to the heart of the centre square. Allison, no free kick. Hocking to Mensch, can thump it from 55. It's there. Brownless will take a fly. 3 North Melbourne players. Fairly content in the end, if that's the word for North, to run it over the line. They're not content at the moment as we look at their bench. Trent Nichols and Keenan Reynolds amongst them have had little to do tonight. 8 goals, 5 to 9-11. North Melbourne out of defence. Schwass the target to get a free this time against Simpson. Advantage given to Stevens, to Carey. McGrath against him. Carey paddling it in front. McGrath off the ground to Stevens. Chance for North. Stevens attacks. McKernan outnumbered. Well, good flag, Brown. Took a beauty. Kicked a bag earlier this year, Brown, in the game at Cardinia Park. Chips away, goes to Barnes, gets him at centre half back. Mansfield running on, so at Geelong at the moment. Tudor the target, Smith to sit on him, and takes a one-hander. Yes, paid.
Heart was in your mouth for a minute there, Bruce. You thought it was play on, did you? Umpire taking a little while there, but Ross Smith with the ball at right half back. His kick goes out towards the wing. Great diving effort by Archer, and he's been paid the mark. Glenn Archer spent a fair bit of time on the bench, but he kicks now in towards centre half forward. The ball spills to the back. Chance for McKernan to get it forward for North Melbourne. In towards 50 metres. Knocked forward by Roberts. Will it sit? Ellison there. Mansfield for Geelong. Well done by Mansfield. State player Michael Mansfield comes clear from the half-back line. Kicks back to the centre. Nearly taken by Armstrong. He runs past it. Archer gets the handball. Back to King. King to half forward. A high leap was by McKernan. Gathered by Gary Hocking. Lovely hand pass. Sets up Mensch. Mensch goes wide to Riccardi. Riccardi quickly. He's got a player on his own. It looks like Brewer. It is Brewer. Short kick is okay. And Geelong running rings around North Melbourne in the middle of the ground. They've got players. It looks as though there might be more than 18. Tudor with the football. Good signs for Geelong. Tudor kicking from 50 metres. Lovely kick by Tudor. Will clear the players, and it's a Geelong goal. The first 3 goals of the third term kicked by Geelong, and they march on as they were at the end of the second term.
And they were just unstoppable in the middle of the ground. It's an old football cliche, Robbo, running rings around it, but it aptly describes what's happening out in the middle at the moment. Geelong are just creating space and pinpointing passes to players in a better position, and that was great finishing work there by Lee Tudor.
18 points in front now. Geelong, Blakey to fall forward. McKernan underneath it. McGrath getting back. So there's been a 41-point turnaround in this match from halfway through that second quarter. Hinkley gets it from McGrath, then goes over the top. Mansfield on a hot streak. He is confident. He's playing superbly. He got to McGrath. McGrath with a wobbly one at centre half back. Brewer the target. Mensch has got hold of it. The handball. Tudor wonderful in this quarter. Cooks it back. Ablin and Longmire. Gary in the front spot. Play on call. Tudor again to Brownless. Billy centres. Tanner's at the back. He's got a chance. He's got a big grab of it. Gee, hasn't Lee Tudor played out of his socks in this quarter?
Michael Mansfield also doing very well across the full back line, but he's had a pretty big game.
That was irresistible, Joe. It wasn't from Mansfield to Tudor to Tanner. It was an irresistible surge from Geelong. And Tanner to put the Cats 24 points in front. He's got it.
And you have to say it'll be panic stations now for North Melbourne. McKernan, I can just see, is coming up into the centre square. And I think it's been a great move by Gary Ayres, putting John Barnes onto McKernan. Certainly did quieten him down. And David Mensch has done particularly well in the ruck. So now we've got McKernan, who'll go up against David Mensch, with John Barnes still left at full back.
So the play restarted. Big McKernan, but it rebounds off Blakey's head back to a difficult area near the centre. North Melbourne try to force it forward. Mansfield and Scott. Mansfield out the back. Gary hocking off his left foot. Kicks it towards half forward. That might have been a mark to King, but he crashes his way through. Kicks to half forward. Great mark taken by Scholl. He runs through the centre arrogantly, if you don't mind. And Scholl kicks to the 50-metre line. Another Geelong goal, kicked by Hickmott. It's raining goals for Geelong. Hickmott kicks their 12th goal. And in about 10 minutes of football since half-time, the Cats have kicked 5 goals.
And once again, just coming off the half-back line as an attacking move for the Cats. Scholl gets it to the loose man there because the North defenders were attacking with that flourishing run there. But it was reversed quickly, and they lost possession and cost them a goal.
Kicked 9 of the last 10 goals, Geelong, and they lead by 30 points. Big job now for North Melbourne to get back into this game. This would be the greatest margin between the two sides for the evening. Blakey gets it away. Schwass off his left foot. Kicks into the pocket. No mark again, but it's a push out. Capuano gets the free kick. Barnes the infringer.
Brian Sheedy was right there.
Nothing much in it, Jared, did you think?
Well, let's just have another look on the replay, Robbo.
Well, you see a lot of that happen in the general passage of play. The game of football that we watch week in, week out. But Capuano has the free kick. He's 50 metres from goal. His kick is hooked and helped by the breeze out of bounds on the full. Bit of a fluky breeze blowing tonight. But in the finish, out of bounds on the full. Brown goes short and finds Pickering. Pickering in the right back pocket can transfer play. His kick is not all that accurate. It clean bowls McGrath and Carey. Carey gets his right foot to it, slung off it by McGrath. Well done by the Geelong defence. Minch gets back to help out. Taken by Hickmott. He's certainly grown in stature. His kick goes out towards the wing. 1-on-2 in favour of Geelong. Hinkley and Simpson. But the ball goes over for a throw-in. Neville Bruggs, Jeff Geeshan, Gary Ayres. In the coach's box for the Cats. Geelong 30 points in front. North led 4-4 to 3-4 at quarter time. There was only 1 point in it at half-time, but Geelong have taken all before them in this third term. Hocking to Brewer. Brewer a jack in the box. Handball is okay. It bounces beautifully for Scholl. Scholl will go in and get another one for Geelong. No, he won't. He'll hook the kick and miss to the left. Just a little bit of excitement on the face there of Brad Scholl. Barry Stoneham would be fairly happy. And it looks like Graham Jelly off to his left as we look at it. And Graham Jelly, of course, had a role at Geelong. He may still have one. Roberts with the ball for North Melbourne. Kicks it towards half forward. Now it bounces inside 50 metres. Mansfield's played a crackerjack third term in particular. The kick goes wide and the mark is taken by Simpson.
4 kicks for Mansfield in this third quarter, 5 for Hickmott. Simpson, who kicked that important goal against the Tide in the second term. Oh, Minch, it's all happening. Couch, floater, Ablett underneath it. Longmire with him, goes to ground, off the ground by Smith. North needing a couple of goals in a hurry. I can remember saying that about Geelong at one stage in this game. Barnes went off the ground. Riccardi. Scott gives a free kick away. It'll come back to Peter Riccardi. Very good early. Ablett's in the goal square with Brownless. Riccardi short, too far for Barnes. Tanner's been terrific, so has Hickmott. That's just a hook. 12-13, 8-5. 25 shots now to 13. 6 kicks Hickmott. There's Nichols and Ashenko and Reynolds, who came in tonight for Mickey Martin, who withdrew with a stomach complaint before the game. Laidley gets it.
North Melbourne still to score in this third term.
Their last goal was at the 22-minute mark of the second term, and Carey kicked one. It was his second for the term. Here's King at centre half back. Carey the target, big fly, couldn't quite. Mansfield, Scott, high tackle, and it's going to be a bounce. Not a bad decision actually. Scott with his head down running into the Geelong player. Love to have had a big one tonight, Scott, against his former club.
See the centre circle there. Mensch has done pretty well in the ruck. Nearly taken by Schwass. Can he get clear? Blakey can and throws it onto his left foot. Centre half forward. Contest. The ball bounces free. Gather was by Capuano. Gets it to Roberts. Can Roberts score a goal? It's a pretty good kick by Mark Roberts. North Melbourne get a badly needed goal. Second goal, kicked by Mark Roberts.
The pressure is on at Football Park. Adelaide at home to the Hawk.
12-13 to 9-5. North have kicked their first goal of the third term. But on the other hand, Geelong have kicked 5 goals, 3. North get forward again. Mansfield, can he run down? No, he can't. He's elusive and clever. He's kicked to the wing. Punched away by Allison. Ball spills for McGrath. He may be happy to see it over. Boundary throw in centre wing, far side of the ground. Geelong 12-13, lead North Melbourne 9-5.
McKernan and Mensch. Came to the back. Hickmott to Pickering. To Hawking. Run down, but got his kick in. Brewer again the target. Pickering had to sit and wait. Handball, not good, and Hickmott got a bad bounce. He got in after it quickly. The tackle was okay by Scott. Blakey back to centre half forward. The mark taken by Hinkley, former best and fairest at the club. Out wide, Mensch the target.
Been good in the run.
Yeah, very good. And a good take. A floater. That man again. He's destroying them, Hickmott.
6 kicks, 4th mark for the third quarter.
And it's been the likes of Hickmott and Brewer and Mensch, as we see a couple of drops of rain just starting to come down here at the MCG. But it's those unheralded type players that have made the difference to Geelong. They've stepped up a cog. They've filled the breach of a couple of senior players leaving the club. Got the club in a great position at the moment.
Pretty good kick by Hickmott off the boot. It's right there. So another behind of the Cats, 12-14 to 9-5. He's kicked 1-2 in this term, Hickmott. You can see the rain starting to come down a bit heavier. There's Derek Hall, Sean Simpson on the blower. The telephone to Gary Ayres. And this rain is now starting to pelt down. Smith to King. Players running everywhere. The North Melbourne forward line, have a look at that to the left of us. There is nobody within 90 metres of the North Melbourne goal. Players all over the footy at the moment. Archer at half-back to centre wing. Carey at the back, outnumbered and out-positioned. Barnes has done very well back there in this turn. Had a quiet, I'll say quiet start. A start where he made a lot of mistakes. Mensch has been terrific, but Barnes has come back strongly. Hickmott again in the box set. Bit unlucky not to get that. Here's Tudor, the other unheralded. Runs his full measure. The putter to Hickmott. He's having a terrific game. To Hinkley, the little squeezer. Simpson. Riccardi short. Simpson goes long. Times it very well. It's right there. And Brownless has marked it on his chest. Can't believe his luck.
Well, it's just plucked a rabbit out of a hat there, Billy.
For his second goal. Couple to Brownless. 13-14, 9-5. Now it's starting to look lopsided when you look at that scoreboard.
Yeah, Geelong can bury North Melbourne if they can get another couple. On the other hand, if North want to remain competitive, they've got to get a couple in a row. But Billy, that was a good mark. I'm not sure whether everybody thought you were going to grab it in the finish, but well done.
Pretty empty forward line for North. It was completely empty a moment ago. Good crowd here tonight, considering the conditions. It's Arctic conditions in Melbourne. Temperature you'd feel is below 10 at the moment. But Geelong going strongly, 13-14 to 9-5.
North Melbourne not getting much from their midfielders. Blakey hemmed in there. That forward line being wide open is terrific if you've got a stream down the ground. But when we saw Archer get the ball down here in front of us, he had no one to kick to except for Wayne Carey, and he had two opponents, McGrath and Barnes. It can be successful if you can move the ball quickly, but it's Geelong that are controlling the ball from the middle of the ground. Mansfield gets another little kick to his team's advantage by about 25 metres.
Well, like all plans, Robbo, they all depend on winning the ball out of the centre. In fact, that is the key to football. It's a dominant midfield.
McKernan in front, tries to get the tap down, but only went as far as Riccardi. Hinckley it was that kicked it forward for Geelong. And about 40 metres closer to the Geelong goal, will have another boundary throw in. 13-14 Geelong. 9 goals, 5 North Melbourne. Kangaroos just 1 goal in this third term against Geelong, who've kicked 6.
Mark Roberts has just interchanged with Corey McKernan.
6 goals, 4 the Cats have kicked. And Mensch has been a key player. Roberts, but Mensch gets his right hand to it. Underneath that, Blakey. Now, you did mention about Anthony Stevens at the latter part of the second quarter, Jared. Looked as though he got up a little gingerly, so they're missing him, aren't they? His impact around the middle of the ground. Geelong still there at 50 metres, but it's kicked back by Roberts towards half forward. The knock clear was for the favour of Schwass. Schwass's kick, and good ground made by Archer. He's marked 55 metres from goal. He'll kick to the square. Back there is Carey, but McGrath beats him on this occasion. You can't win the ball, and well done, Tim McGrath. Kick short, Mansfield marks. 50 metres from the North Melbourne goal. This is Mansfield for Geelong. He's had some possessions in this term, 9 to be exact. The kick to the wing, taken by Armstrong. Scott trying to crash his way through. Unsuccessful. Umpire calls for a bounce. 3 minutes left in the third term, which has been all Geelong. At half-time, they were 7-10. They're now 13-14. North Melbourne 8-5. They've progressed to just 9-5.
Free kick to Mensch. Roberts unhappy, but giving the footy up. Mensch at half-back. Has a couple of things and then goes long to half-forward. Brewer sets himself. Went through Rock. Brewer again. Goes to Pickering. Pickering to Ablett. Good kick. It bounced out. It's going to be paid. Brewer important again. Winning the footy.
Good hands, Wilco. If a chest mark's dropped like this, it slips out. Do you deem it as being held long enough, or would you think that it has to go all the way?
I would have played that one.
He's kicked 2 in this term, Ablett. In fact, all his goals have been to this end. 2 in the opening term. And Gary just slipping it off the boot a bit for a behind. So Ablett with 4 goals and a couple of points.
Just didn't travel through the air, that ball, did it? It was a wobbly punt kick.
So the margin is 4 goals, 10. They kicked 6 consecutive points, Geelong. At one stage, they were 3-2 to 3-8 when they were struggling. King at half-back.
What about those Vanuatu bookies, Bruce? Aren't they offering 6 to 4 both margins for either side, over 39.5? They're not bad, are they? It looks like getting up to that margin shortly. North Melbourne fans, not much to cheer about in this third term. It's been all Geelong. Boundary throw in, centre wing, members side. The ball to the back. Not being able to control it there. His couch underneath there. But Hinckley gets another important possession in close quarters. Rolls up to nearly 50 metres. Laidley tackled by Hickmott. Ball spills for a throw-in. 13-15 to 9-5. 34 points, and the Cats fans rugged up for the wintry conditions prevailing at the MCG. But I'd suggest the performance of their team has warmed them in more ways than one. Again, Geelong force it forward, but this is Rock. Rock off the left foot, kicks back to the wing. Good mark taken by Archer. Must play on, move it quickly. Short. Ball spills to the back, McKernan. It may be the advantage for North Melbourne, it is. The free kick was Stevens, but it went forward to the back of the pack. Geelong have got the moppers at the back, McGrath and Scholl. Scholl has got a player at centre half-back. It's Paul Brown, and he marks safely. He looks to play on. Kicks it wide, out towards the centre wing. Simpson has taken it. He can draw a player, but he prefers to go off the left foot towards full forward. At the back, watch Gary Ablett get his 5th goal here. Runs right in, lessens the margin, and kicks the goal. Goals 2 to Gary Ablett. And Johnny Longmire not happy with the fickle bounce of the ball, but Gary Ablett, superb stuff from the full forward.
I'm not sure it was the bounce that beat him, Robbo. He just misjudged that one completely. That was clean bowled, and Gary Ablett was beaten well and truly by John Longmire, but was a recipient of a goal because of a mistake by his opponent.
Ablett 5 tonight, and Gerard in the 9 matches so far, on 8 occasions has kicked 5 or better this year. His small haul was 3 against Sydney when he kicked the winning goal in the second round, but he has managed at least 5 goals in 8 of his 9 matches. It's a great effort.
33 years of age.
Yeah, turning 34 this year. It's 40 points the margin. The biggest so far of the match.
It's a free kick.
Well, Hickmott has just been sensational in this 3rd quarter. Inspired.
11th possession.
To Hinkley. Hinkley out wide. To Tanner.
Tanner, who was terrific in the latter part of the 2nd term. His kick goes in towards full forward. Punched away from Ablett by Longmire. Geelong's crummers. Pickering hasn't got the football, appealing for the free kick. Anthony Rock tries to tap it clear. Ablett and Longmire. Roberts, what's he doing? Going absolutely nowhere. And the Cat fans are ecstatic. Every reason to be. Their team leads at 3/4 time, 14-15-99. North Melbourne left in their wake, 9-5-59 the margin, 40 points in favour of the Cats at 3/4 time.
So, Gerard, they've kicked 11 of the last 13 goals, Geelong.
Well, I've read a lot about the new Geelong, how tough and hard they are, and I thought it was rhetorical stuff from the press and from the media guys, but just the way they're playing Geelong, there is something a little bit different about them. They just seem to be grouping together better. They're certainly running in straight lines and hard at the collision and hard at the football. They're being well led today, and Adrian Hickmott has had a fantastic quarter. I thought Michael Mansfield's quarter cross half back, as well as his game, has been exemplary. And 9 possessions to Michael Mansfield, and there he is on screen. So we've got, well, North Melbourne have got the job in front of them, Bruce.
Yes, they sure have. They trail 59-99 at 3/4 time. 9-5, 14-15. Minch has been good. Capuano against him. North need about 3 goals in 5 minutes to try and get back in. Hocking, Couch, very good early. Quiet since then, but he just watched it go by. It's been lovely for him. Ablett at the back. Smith, Ablett, little toe poke. Longmire, out wide. Laidley, cut off a bit by the Cats. Tudor off the ground, hit the post. Oh, that would have hurt. It's been terrific. Tudor at 3/4 time was just Gary Ablett and Gary Ayres faced one another. Ayres looked him in the eye and chatted to him intensely for about a minute, didn't he?
Well, I don't know if you'd call it a chat. It was a very stern-looking Gary Ayres.
Well, why would he be? Gary's kicked 5.
He's missed one, though, hasn't he?
Well, it was an amazing scene. 9-5, 14-16. It was almost eyeball to eyeball. The coach and the captain. Not suggesting that there's any animosity there, but it was just an interesting tactic by Ayres after his champ had done so well in the 3rd quarter for him. Capuano, Laidley, who had his colours lowered by Hickmott in the 3rd term. Just a high one. Where can North get some inspiration from? Armstrong trying to get it out. Allison goes off the ground. Rock forced out of it. This Scholl fellow, gee, he's playing all right. McGrath cut off. Back to Stevens. Terrific early, then seemingly injured. Running deep into the pocket. High ball. No one to kick it to. and out of bounds on the fall. Brown's got it in the back pocket for the Cats.
I think Mensch has been an important player, Bruce. Barnes, perhaps we thought having a bit of an off night early. Mensch into the ruck has been terrific for the Geelong side. Brown in the back pocket will kick the Cats out of trouble. Gets outside 50 metres. No mark there. Kick forward by Scott across his left shoulder. And it's a mark to Carey. Second grab. He had no worries about it. The crowd are a little concerned, obviously Geelong fans. Get a second look at that. Tim McGrath shakes his head in disbelief. Scott's kick, high. Carey looked as though he got the first grab and the second grab. So can Wayne Carey kick his third goal? Important kick for the Kangaroos. Holds up in the breeze. Mark has been taken by Capuano near the goal line. He will get back on a very difficult angle, I would think. Dennis Rich there officiating. So let's see what this young up-and-comer can do. Just 19 years of age and a very promising colt indeed for North Melbourne. Kicks with the screw punt, does it very well. North Melbourne get their 10th goal. Capuano kicks his first. Nothing happening for North Melbourne in the way of goal kickers. The best they can do is two. Kicked by Carey, Roberts and McKernan. On the Geelong side, Ablett has kicked 5.
And after a pretty ordinary kick from Wayne Carey, it was a very good mark from Capuano, who should have a long and illustrious career ahead of him as either a ruckman or a tall forward. North Melbourne need a number more of those.
Can this be the start of a remarkable revival? They'll need all of that. Scott got a high one. Couch, Hocking, Stevens with him. Hocking has to concede. Rock onto it. Rock through 50. Rock for goal. Good kick. He's got it. It could be the start. A long way to go, I know, but you can't do much better than that.
But there was attack on the ball in the middle of the ground, and at the start of the game that North Melbourne just attacked the ball with so much vigour and enthusiasm, and all of a sudden, with 5 minutes to go before half-time, it just stopped. It wasn't apparent in the third quarter, and they're well behind, but still a chance.
Well, they're starting to get the ball out of the centre. That's the difference with the Kangaroos so far. But it's Hickmott for Geelong. A little kick by that player. Finds Tanner. Tanner is on centre wing members' side. Nice long kick by Grant Tanner towards the 50-metre line. King fumbles, but he's able to recover his position, not sufficiently to clear the ball. And the boundary umpire will throw it in. Reynolds, Nichols and Ischenko on the bench for North Melbourne.
Interesting, isn't it, that they've been on the bench for most of the second half, and after being badly beaten in the third quarter, they just stayed there.
Well, Dennis Pagan prepared to go with his 18 that are on the ground. They trail at this stage by 29 points. Can they pull off what would be, well, one of the greatest robberies of all time, because Geelong's third quarter justifiably put them in the position to win this game. Mensch doing the ruck work. Up against Capuano. Capuano tries to bash it clear. Couch underneath. And eventually the ball held in by Tanner on Wayne Schwass. And the umpire will call for a bounce. Umpires there. Jeff Caulfield, Dennis Rich, Brian Sheehan. Capuano belts it clear, but only as far as Simpson. Gather was by Blakey. Kick straight up in the air. He was held after he got rid of the ball. So Blakey will take the free kick, right half back for North Melbourne. Certain amount of urgency has crept into their game. Blakey runs around the man on the mark, gets a few metres, kicks in towards centre half forward, falls short. Barnes couldn't take the mark. It's at centre half forward for North Melbourne. Scholl was tackled. Away goes Simpson. Hickmott. Now the ball cleared by Hinkley to the boundary line, and we'll have a throw in centre wing members' side.
Goal to Hinkley tonight. Another good match for him. Mensch was there. Couch. Armstrong. A couple of left footers together. 71 to 100. North trailing by 29. They've kicked the last 2 goals. Mentioned Capuano. Capuano wins this one. Archer. Still Archer. Clever. Stevens. Little one to centre half forward. Barnes carries hip and shoulder. Mansfield. Fantastic third quarter. Mr. Simpson gets a free kick against Carey.
You know, that's amazing, Bruce. He spun away from 4 players then in that passage of play.
It's because Wayne Carey went to bump rather than tackle.
So Mansfield from half-back. In the AFL Team of the Year in 1994. Was one of the surprise packets of the season. Blakey having to concede some ground. Smith, no free kick. Brewer, Hocking, Pickering. And he's missed. Shouldn't have. It was pretty easy in the end. All set up for him. But the ex-Kangaroo. 3 goals, 12 the margin now. 11-5, 14-17. Fairley just to himself. Terrific first half, Fairley. To half-back. Capuano underneath it. At the back, taken by Scholes. Had a quiet one. 2 half-forward. Roberts sets himself. Brown goes with him cleverly. Hinkley and Archer. Archer well done. Gets it forward. Rock getting onto it. Little one off the ground. He'll go off the ground again. No, still in play. Still with Rock. Gets it out to McKernan. High ball. Getting underneath it. Stevens with courage. Roberts. Good tackle by Brown. Under pressure was Scott. Robbed by Hocking. Hocking holds it up. Geelong do well in the end.
Some desperate stuff there by the Cats, and I think the applaudance there is from their fans because they could just detect a bit of a troublesome period for them. Bounce of the ball about 35 metres from North Melbourne's goal. Brilliant ruck work. Blakey will get another goal for North Melbourne. Well, the defensive side of that ruck contest was very, very poorly attended by Geelong. North Melbourne get their 12th goal, and they trail by 24 points.
And sometimes the negative players can hurt you. You see there Gary Hocking being sucked in to take the tap, paying no attention to his man. It's just a flip over the top, open goal beckon. North Melbourne are back in it.
Some anxious faces there in the North Melbourne coaches box. Their side trailed by 40 points at 3/4 time. It's back to 24 points. And there's plenty of time left in the last quarter. Blakey gets it to half forward, but a good mark. It's not paid. Obviously touched off the boot. Look, Geelong get clear from half-back. Mansfield. A high kick has been marked by Smith. No, it wasn't. Tudor gets it back. Tanner. Tanner back to Tudor. Tudor short kick. Geelong mark taken by Brewer. 30 metres out directly in front. And at 1 minute, the ball is at centre half forward for North Melbourne. A chance for them to goal. It goes down the ground. Finishes with Brewer. And he could make the Kangaroos pay so dearly. Brewer. Kicks. And kicks accurately. It's a goal to Geelong. So that makes the job ever so difficult for North Melbourne. It's back to a 30-point game, 15-17 to 12-5.
He's a bit of a Gary Ablett lookalike, Shane Brewer, but same muscular build, loves a goal, gets out of some sticky situations. This was just very well set up by their entire forward line. Brewer made the space, got free, and was spotted.
12-5, 15-17. Capuano out of the centre. Rock's handball cut off. Pickering, Hocking. Geelong steadying. Hocking's handball a good one. To Pickering. Pickering to full forward. Ablett and Longmire. That time Longmire.
He's done pretty well in the one-on-one battles, John Longmire.
To Schwass. Laidley's half volley. At half back to Stevens. He's got a paddock now. Can go away with a bounce. And draw Pickering to him. Centre half forward. McKernan in the front spot. Brown. Handball okay. Riccardi. A good one. To Couch. Ablett on a lead. Doesn't go that far. Gets out to Tanner. Schwass with him. Tanner looking for a free. Will get it in the half forward, right half forward flank. North fans don't like it. Grant Tanner, who came on late in the second quarter and was a catalyst in Geelong's turnaround. Got 4 touches in a hurry, and the Cats kicked 3 goals in 4 minutes. 50 metres out. On the angle. Right there. Ablett. You could see it. He was at the back. He was waiting. He was ready to give a little shove. And the ball landed in his lap. Good shot of the angle.
Like Casper, just appears from nowhere. He's amazing, isn't he?
Roberts off. Ablett going for number 6. Now improves it, now kicks it. 6 to Ablett. The first one to the punt road end for the night. 16-17 to 12-5.
The Tigers on the rebound, Sydney on a roll.
Well, what a sight it is for football fans. It doesn't matter, well, maybe if you follow North Melbourne you don't like it tonight, but everybody else would be enjoying Gary Ablett's performance. Armstrong dispossessed, but he gets another chance. The hand pass coming clear, and the free kick. The hand pass actually came from Stevens to set Armstrong up, but Stevens will take the free kick. I thought maybe at one stage he looked as though he was favouring a leg, Anthony Stevens. He had a quiet third term, but so did a lot of other North Melbourne players. Geelong just had the ball on a string. Stevens' kick falls in short. Good chest mark. Mansfield away to McGrath. Geelong's defence has been terrific since half-time. Since about 10 minutes before half-time. Hinkley. He's kicked a lot with his left foot tonight. He's kicked a half forward. Free kick, Tanner. Ball rolling for the Cats. Tanner with the ball, right half forward. Little push out there by Schwass. Tanner will take the ball. He kicks it in the Ablett direction. Longmire punches away, but in doing so he's infringed against Gary Ablett. And Gary Ablett's got the ball about 30 metres out on a slight angle. Well, more than a slight angle. Holding. And again, Gary Ablett quite happy with that decision, but the umpire in a pretty good position. Ablett has kicked 6 goals in that scoreline for Geelong. Gary Ablett kicks for goal, just goes away with that wafting breeze. Very hard sometimes at the MCG to judge as the breeze swirls. We've mentioned it many, many times. Geelong, look at that, 34 scoring shots to 17. It was a 1-point game at half-time. Geelong broke it wide open by kicking 7-5 to 1 goal in the third term. And it's been pretty well nip and tuck so far in this last quarter.
Ross Smith gains a bit of ground and goes to the centre square. Capuano and McKernan together. Allison, clever to Rock. Had Carey short, touches the ground. Again, this vacant space. Carey running into it. Goes to ground. Mansfield under pressure. McGrath, they've been excellent, this Geelong defence. McGrath a half-back. Riccardi held on to, out of play. They've got the best attack, Geelong, going into this match statistically. They were number 1 in terms of points scored, and they've done their case no harm tonight, 114. Kicked more than any other team in the comp. They're 37 points in front. And home, you'd say. Armstrong, Hinkley, reliable as ever. A great career Hinkley's had. Been in the AFL Team of the Year a couple of times.
Played a few games with Fitzroy a few years back too.
Yeah, 11 he played in total, and well over 110 now with...
Gee, they'd have a fair side from players that have left Fitzroy playing in the AFL still now.
Blakey, Armstrong and Hinkley out there tonight.
Yeah, Nichols' hand pass is astray. Brewer chips in. Brewer goes forward for Geelong, finds Hickmott, who had a sensational third term, something like 13 possessions Adrian Hickmott had in the third quarter. He's got the ball wide at right half forward. Gets underneath that kick a little bit. lands at full forward. In front, Brownless couldn't take the mark. Scott in trouble. Dragged to the ground. The ball spills wide for Schloss. A little more determinedly there was Gary Hocking, but couldn't control the football. And isn't it great to see Gary Hocking playing well? He started a little slowly, had a knee injury, came into the side, I think it was against Fremantle over in Perth. Was a little quiet that night, but is just working ever so slowly and assuredly into top form. Geelong in the right forward pocket, the ball forced over for another boundary throw-in.
His first half tonight was almost best on the ground material. Just a little bit quieter since then, but he's getting better and better.
Fairley and Brownless. Brownless gets the front posse, gets it down only as far as Stevens. His kick taken off there by Nichols. Nichols goes towards the wing. No mark. The ball spills to the back. Off the ground, Carey, little toe poke. Scholl is there. Tries to tap the ball for the safety of the line. He succeeds in doing that. And the umpire will throw it in left half forward for North Melbourne. Perhaps 2 kicks from their goal. They trail 12-5, 77. Geelong 16-18, 114. And McKernan does the ruck work up against Barnes. Armstrong's kick ineffective. He had another second go at it. Mark taken by Mansfield. Brilliant performance by Mansfield across half-back for Geelong.
To centre wing at the back, King. Tanner read it beautifully. Ablett and Brownless down there. Ablett flies against Brownless in the end. Handball by Smith. Longmire playing at full-back all night to centre wing. Blakey, good mark. Just thinking a moment ago, Gerard, Craig Scholl and Bradshaw. Brad always in the shadow, but tonight he's had a beauty and poor old Craig's hardly had a touch. It's a great leveller. Blakey to Laidley. In fact, Craig Scholl's coming off the ground as I speak. To half forward. Chance for Archer. Armstrong. Capuano, big stretch, kept it back in play, and Mansfield just knocks it back into the post from behind. 12-6, 16-18. Yes, Scholl leaving the ground, one Scholl, the famous one. And the other fellow who played 2 games in about 4 years, or 3 years at North Melbourne, and now hasn't missed a beat at Geelong this year.
Craig Scholl, a state player last year. Paul Brown to kick it in for Geelong. Goes wide towards the right half-back area. Scott keeps his footing, but he's tap on only as far as Riccardi. Goes after him, but Riccardi's kick bounces in the vacant centre area. Punched forward for Geelong. Chance for King. Tackled by Brewer. Umpire sees that as King not having the ball. Now it's play on. Smith takes the hand pass. His kick towards centre half forward. Good chance now for Allison. Handball. McKernan throws it onto his right foot just a little hurriedly and misses to the left-hand side. Registers one behind. 2 goals, 1 for McKernan. And Hinkley, what a grand player he's been for Geelong, limping off, so let's hope he's okay for the Cats because he'll be wanted for the rest of the year.
Brown goes short. Mansfield. McGrath running. He's got right on top of Carey since half-time. Barnes. Pickering rushes the tackle aside. Tanner's been good. Takes too long that time. King ran him down well. Blakey. King was strong by Pickering. Back to Brewer. Good handball to Hickmott. In the pocket. Fantastic football. Well, Gerard, that's not a bad example of a tougher, harder, resolute Geelong. They dished it out and finished it off.
Well, this one comes straight out of the Gladiators, a ripper there from Liam Pickering. And it was a double whammy because they followed up and got a pretty good goal. This has been a complete and comprehensive victory by the Cats.
41 points the margin. King in the hands of the trainers. Mitch forces it forward for Geelong. Taken by Smith. Ross Smith's kick is a bit of an up and under. And quite tidily taken by Brown. Young McClure is on the ground for his first run for Geelong. So it's pretty exciting stuff for that young player. Kick forward by Simpson for Geelong towards full forward. Chance for Brewer, free kick, play on, advantage with Geelong. Thank you very much, says Billy Brownless. And Billy gets his third goal for the night. 47 points is the margin. And to think there was only 1 point in this game at half-time when North Melbourne led 53 to 52.
Well, this was a free kick to Gary Ablett purely because he has that fantastic position. I think this is justice that Billy ends up with an easy one, because I reckon Gary's jumped on his shoulders about 5 times tonight. He's taken a couple of goals off him when he perhaps could have grabbed the mark. King in a bit of trouble there, and that's what happened to him. Crunch, the knockout blow. It has been an emphatic victory.
18-18, 12-7, official attendance 44,780. Big crowd here tonight. There will be next week on a Friday night, because the Bombers will take on North Melbourne. They've got an army of supporters, the Bombers. Brown's kick fantastic again to Minch. They're exciting Geelong tonight. Hocking out wide, kept his eye on it, and Buddha marked it.
Just a bit of a push out there by the Buddha.
Jared, quickly, I don't know whether you get a chance, but the captaincy, the fact that he's relinquished it, is it in your vision? Can you see a different Gary Hopkins?
No, not at all. I think he only had the captaincy for about 3 games, didn't he? He was injured for about the first 4. And
he's won the best affairs 3 times in the last 4 years. There's been nothing wrong with his form, has there? It's hit the post.
It's affected his goal kicking a bit though, Robert. I think tonight his game has been very impressive.
6 goals, 12 the margin. 18-19 to 12-7.
Just couldn't help but be disappointed by this performance by North Melbourne. Just before half-time, they looked world beaters. Since then, they've been given a yelp, basically.
Yes, I think the fact that they relinquished that 23-point advantage that they had at 12 minutes into the second term, and Geelong got right back to be only a point behind at half-time.
It's almost as if the self-doubts just flooded back, because before then they were hot at the football, they were pretty good in tight, particularly in the middle of the ground.
So the signs weren't good, though. I think when you start wondering whether they've got more than 18 players on the ground, you wonder, don't you? Geelong certainly looked like that for most of this game, midway through the second term, and Hickmott has been one of those players. He's been good. Very lively customer. Would have made his debut at Geelong as a 16 or 17-year-old a couple of years ago, Adrian Hickmott from Horsham. His kick falls in short. Geelong mark. Brewer. I mentioned about him having very, very sure hands, marking, grasping the ball from a passage of play, handballing. And this is a pretty good mark by Shane Brewer right in front. He's only about 15 metres out. He should kick a goal. And he does. Geelong march on. 3 goals now to Shane Brewer. Ablett has kicked 6. Brownless has kicked 3. And the other multiple goal scorer for the Cats is Hickmott, who's kicked 2.
It just keeps getting better for the Cats. And they've now put a pretty comfortable buffer between themselves and North Melbourne, who they'll be certainly looking for fighting with for a top 4 or 5 position with North Melbourne at the end of the year. But now 2 games, a 2-game break, and a good draw to boot.
54 points the margin, remembering that North led by 23 in the second term. Hickmott, or McGrath rather that time, to Scholl, to half forward. Brewer kept his eye on it. McClure trying to get his first touch. Wouldn't he love to get on the end of one? Here's Schwass. Had a quiet one. Had some mates. Keenan Reynolds the target. Brown just uses him to take the beauty. To McGrath. Punches it out wide. Riccardi and Scott. Robert Scott under pressure as he's been most of the night when he's got hold of the football. There's young McClure, the 22-year-old making his debut for Geelong tonight. In fact, I reckon he is the only rookie out there tonight, the only first-year player coming in as a late replacement for Ben Graham. Mitch.
Ruck contest. Mentioned David Mitch there. Kick off the ground. Schwass. Mansfield strong. Held his position, spun out of trouble, able to recover, and balance was magnificent. Kicks it forward for Geelong, only as far as Ross Smith who defends for North Melbourne. Longmire receives the hand pass, gets it out into the path of Roberts. Roberts' kick across his left shoulder is ill-directed and quite straightforwardly taken by Brad Scholl. He kicks to Barnes. Barnes, a lovely hand pass. Beautifully positioned there for Simpson. Simpson's kick into the pocket. Sit underneath that and play fair, Gary Ablett. He did. Made it easy for Longmire to thump it clear for the boundary line. Left forward pocket for Geelong. Gary Ablett has a chance to add to his 6 goals. Only 1 3/4 minutes left, but it's in Geelong's full forward area. A 9-goal game. Geelong leading. Gary Hocking underneath all that. Umpire will bounce 35-40 metres from the Geelong goal. Well, Geelong can get plenty out of this, but North Melbourne have to go back to the drawing board. We played in the wet and slush here against Carlton and were belted a few weeks ago. So, some thinking for North Melbourne. Ablett tries to tap it forward, only as far as Blakey. Ablett's a chance again. Stevens, good tackle. Ball spills for Simpson. Simpson gets it back now to Scholl. Scholl's short kick is okay. Minch has got it. Minch, oh, how do you like that? Balking and turning and then kicks over on the full. So the free kick will be taken for North Melbourne by Ross Smith. Down under the minute now left in the game. Ross Smith to kick it clear for the Kangaroos. Goes outside 50. Barnes was up high, able to gather. Gets it to Minch. Minch goes back to Scholl. Scholl growing with stature. Every minute he plays this caper. Gary Hocking's short kick has been marked by Pickering. And Liam Pickering can go in short. And has that gone the required distance? Yes. Barnes has got it. Now, John Barnes was a champion Teal Cupper as a forward. And he is a pretty good kicker of the football. He wouldn't mind finishing this game off, I wouldn't reckon, with a big bomb goal. Johnny Barnes. Hair in the pigtail. Gets under it. Hooks it. Gets the distance quite easily. But scores just a point. His first score for the night, coming in the dying seconds of the game. 19 goals 20 to 12-7. 55 points. That is comprehensive in anyone's language.
I thought it was a pivotal move when John Barnes went back onto Corey McKernan in the second quarter, allowing Minch onto the ball.
The kick in. Oh, Ablett will get his 7th. The siren has sounded. The game is over, and, well, it's quite fitting, I think, that the ball is with Gary Ablett. He is one of the superstars of this caper of AFL football. He's kicked 6 goals. It's already been mentioned. I think Bruce just said that he's nearly 34 years of age. And what a magnificent performance by this player. He'll kick from 30 metres, and he'll kick 7 goals to the delight of the Geelong crowd in their absolute shellacking of North Melbourne. 61 points the final margin for Geelong over North Melbourne, and Dipper has an interview down on the ground.
Thanks very much, Robbo. Well, another crushing win by Geelong tonight.
Yeah, it was great win. The blokes did well, and they all come together, and we all played hard, ran hard, and it worked out really good.
I saw you play last week against Richmond, played a great game, and once again tonight you're starting to find some form.
Yeah, it's coming along good. I love it too. Plenty of run, all that sort of thing, give me a few kicks and that. Yeah, it's great.
Gary Ayres has allowed you to run around the half-forward line and the wing.
Yeah, just so give the flies up there a bit of space and all that sort of thing, half forward and all that. So yeah, it's good.
Now for a young player to play with Gary Ablett, I mean 7 goals against tonight. Beautiful player.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? He does well. We just sit there back in admire him. He's good. We love it.
Do you enjoy this game?
Yeah, I love it.
Good on you, mate.
Adrian Hickmock, good on you, Dipper. Gary Ablett 7 tonight, 54 for the season. It's on target for another 100-goal season. Look at him, he's the leader of the club. And for North Melbourne, Corey McKernan probably having a go at a spectator there. Gee, poor old North Melbourne hit bottom in this season. But what about Geelong, as Dennis Pagan looks down and contemplates? Last week, Gerard, they kicked 15 goals to 7 after half-time. Tonight, 13 goals to 4 after half-time. Quality opponents, Richmond last week and North Melbourne tonight.
Well, they have certainly answered the critics that said that they would fall from grace. new coach come in, Gary Ayres. Well, hasn't he had a fantastic start to his coaching career? He's got the side teaming well. They're playing a great brand of football. But I'm very disappointed with North Melbourne, Robbo. Just before half-time, I thought, yep, they're back on track. They've got running hard at the footy, but all of a sudden it was not to be seen the second half when I thought they'd come back and make a contest of it.
Yeah, I think it was just before half-time. I think you mentioned about Tanner having an impact. He was one player, but I thought Mensch was good. I thought when you mentioned that Barnes may have been a little bit out of sorts, so they switch it around, put Mensch in the ruck. He was good. His bulk gave them a little bit of space, created a little bit of opportunities for those midfielders, and they took it from there. But Gary Ablett, Bruce, I saw him just go all the way through that group of players and just give Tim McGrath a bit of a pat on the back, because Tim McGrath had a big job to try and contain Wayne Carey, and it's great to see Ablett, because I think that you're getting the best out of him as a team player right now.
Great stuff, isn't it? Cat fans will be rejoicing right around Australia tonight. They've won by 8 goals, 13 at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. They're 7-2 after the first 9 weeks, and next week they've got Adelaide at home. 12-7 to 2020.